Hey folks, welcome to the Now Network. Today, I'm diving deep into how President Biden has seriously messed up big time. His administration has been riddled with errors and missteps that have left many Americans frustrated and disillusioned. If you've been paying attention, you know there have been some monumental blunders. These mistakes have not only affected the nation, but have also had global repercussions. Let's break it down and see where things went wrong. First up, the economy. Biden promised a strong economic recovery post-pandemic, but let's be real, inflation is skyrocketing. The cost of everyday goods has increased significantly, putting a strain on household budgets. Prices are up, wages aren't keeping pace, and the middle class is feeling the squeeze. This has led to a decrease in purchasing power and overall economic stability. The cost of living is insane, and people are struggling to make ends meet. Many families are finding it difficult to afford basic necessities. Biden's policies have done little to mitigate this crisis. Then there's foreign policy, which has been equally problematic. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was a disaster. It was poorly planned and executed, leading to chaos and confusion. We saw chaotic scenes at Kabul airport, desperate people clinging to planes, and a return of the Taliban. This has been a major blow to US credibility on the world stage. It was supposed to be a strategic exit, but it turned into a humanitarian nightmare. The repercussions of this failure are still being felt. Allies are questioning America's reliability, and adversaries are emboldened. Let's talk about immigration. Another area where Biden has faltered. The southern border is a mess. The situation has deteriorated significantly under Biden's watch. Biden's more lenient stance was supposed to be more humane, but it's resulted in record numbers of illegal crossings. This has overwhelmed the immigration system. Facilities are overcrowded and the system is overwhelmed. The lack of a coherent plan has exacerbated the crisis. It's clear there was no solid plan in place to handle this influx. The administration's response has been reactive rather than proactive. And then there's the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. While initial efforts were commendable, the follow-through has been lacking. The vaccine rollout started strong, but the administration failed to address vaccine hesitancy effectively. This has led to lower vaccination rates than anticipated. Mixed messaging and confusing guidelines didn't help either. Clear and consistent communication was sorely needed, but not delivered. We're seeing surges in cases, and a lot of this could have been avoided with better communication and planning. The lack of a unified strategy has been detrimental. Now, let's not forget about crime. This is another area where the administration has struggled. Major cities are seeing spikes in violent crime, and Biden's response has been tepid at best. The lack of a strong stance has left communities feeling vulnerable. The calls for police reform are important, but the administration's approach seems disjointed and ineffective. There needs to be a more cohesive strategy. People want to feel safe in their communities, and right now they don't. The administration needs to address these concerns more effectively. In conclusion, Biden's presidency has been marked by a series of significant failures. These failures have had far-reaching consequences, from economic mismanagement to foreign policy blunders, mishandling of immigration, and inadequate responses to COVID-19 and crime. The list of shortcomings is extensive. The promises of a competent and compassionate administration have not been met. Many Americans feel let down. Another controversial aspect of Biden's presidency is his unwavering support for Israel. Despite numerous controversies and human rights concerns, Biden has continued to back Israel strongly. This stance has drawn criticism from various quarters, including human rights organizations and progressive groups within his own party. The administration's position has been seen as ignoring the complexities of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Biden has also spent billions on the Israel war, funding military operations that have led to significant destruction and loss of life. This financial support has been heavily criticized. There are allegations that Biden is committing war crimes by supporting actions that have resulted in civilian casualties and widespread devastation in Gaza. These actions have sparked outrage and calls for accountability. It's time for some serious reflection and course correction. The administration needs to reassess its strategies and make necessary changes. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.